So, welcome. This is our application communication task C, and my name is Jessica Dowuona-Owoo, and my student ID is 198,33,860. This is my ID. Yeah, and my partner.
My name is Ziqing, and my student ID is 199, 306, and 48.
All right, so we'll be comparing the models of two cities, Accra and
Changsha.
Right. So when it comes to comparison of the models, both cities were modeled with the same type of model. It was the Malthusian model. But in terms of specifics, the similarities included just the model type, and then of course the notation, even though different, like the letters used, they were still representing the same ideas. When it comes to differences, the first difference was the fact that in calculating the rate of change, Accra made mention of the model for Accra made mention of immigration and other factors and used them in the calculation. But with Changsha, the immigration factors were merely mentioned and not shown in the calculation aspects. When it comes to the approach to discover the parameters, right? With the model of Changsha, the rates of change was discovered using the line of best fits with data points and then calculated and then substituted back into the data points to find the rate of change. But with the model for Accra, the process of substitution was first used to determine the rate of change, which was A, for over the span of 20 years first to determine the rate of change for 2022, and then that rate was then applied to the previous years to determine whether the rate is whether it's representative or enough, and then we used to make predictions for the future years.
Yeah, and for the accuracy, although me and Jessica, we use the same model, but I also think Jessica's model is more reliable and accurate in the prediction of population. There are several reasons. First of all, in Jessica's model, it mentioned a lot about immigration. However, for me, I just mentioned it, but I didn't consider the true effect of it. And secondly, just because, as I mentioned, there is an increasing difference between the true population and the predicted population by using of the Malthusian model when I try to use the equation to substitute back all of the data. So Jessica's model is more reliable in the prediction of population. However, what I should also mention is that the Malthusian model, although we both use that, but I think it's not such effective when used to predict the population, especially for a long time. For example, first of all, there's a lot of changing factors such as immigration, culture change, and so many things that we cannot control. And secondly, the drawbacks of the Malthusian model. As mentioned, you can see here the Malthusian model is just a predict that the population will continue to increase, but for larger scale growth is another population prediction model. It mentioned that the population will first increase, then when it reaches a value, it will keep the value at there due to the limited resources. I totally agree with this point. So I think when we use the model to predict the population for very long years ago, for example, 2015, 2100, it's very long. There is a long time to it's very long future. So I think using the Malthusian model is not such accuracy, although all of the parameters of it is accurate. So that is all.